Hey there, Sean Coultice here from Katana, and I'm going to talk about something that's been on a lot of people's minds lately, and that's tariffs. So, tariffs between the US and Canada has definitely been a topic of conversation. And I want to get into how Katana, as a software solution, can help businesses manage some of the impending tariffs that might affect your overall profitability and something you want to be able to manage and understand how that's affecting the cost of raw materials that are coming into your business. So let's dive into Katana and see a few ways how it can help your business better manage the changes that might happen in the market, whether it be increases in your raw material costs or trying to sell to new markets because overseas markets or cross-border markets aren't as attainable for you to be cost competitive. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So the first thing that I want to dive into is how you can capture the cost of a tariff in Katana. So in order to do that, we're going to jump over to the purchasing screen within Katana. So I'm going to go into buy and we'll look and we'll see if we've got a number of purchase orders within the system that are sitting in that open status. So if a purchase order were to come in and it was relative to a tariff, I can go and open that up here. So I have a purchase order from a wood supplier in this case, and we can see that we've got 76 meters at $35 USD, and there's a total price of $2,660. So I can actually go in and add additional costs to this. So we can select what those costs might be. So in this case, I would put that under a customs bucket, or I could identify a different one if I wanted to. I can put in a reference code here. So we can call it tariff, and we can say the dollar value. So if this tariff in this case were to equal, let's say, probably about $500 if there was a 25% tariff incurred. One thing that you'll notice is that that $500 tariff charge is now distributed to my product. So when I receive that in, that landed cost is being accounted for. So per unit cost goes from $35 USD to $41.58 USD. Now that how that makes its way into my inventory and how I can see my profitability is where we'll go next. And in order to do that, we're going to take a look at our stock screen. So over on my stock screen, and I'm just going to clear this here. Over on my stock screen, I've got all my products listed out here, things that I buy, things that I make. And so we just took a look at wood, for example. So if I go into my material section, we can see I've got wood listed out here. Now, one thing you'll notice is I have average costing. And so where average costing, so Katana works with a costing methodology called moving average cost. And how this helps manufacturers, especially when you have cost fluctuation in your raw materials, is it helps level out the changes in those costs. So in this case, our cost of the product has gone up, but I already have inventory in stock that is at a lower cost. So I don't necessarily want to apply that newer, higher cost in inventory directly to finished products because that will artificially inflate the actual cost and make it look like I'm not doing as well as I am from a profitability standpoint. With moving average cost, that new increased cost will get blended into your inventory so that when it is consumed, it's going to be applied at that average costed rate, which allows you to spread out that price change over a period of time and not have major increases in fluctuation relative to micro changes that are happening within your supply chain. So that's how moving average cost will balance out your costing of inventory as things change. Next, we'll take a look at how Katana then allocates actual costs. So when we look at a manufacturing order, Katana is going to take into consideration your moving average cost when it's applying to a job. So if we were to look at, for example, this manufacturing order that we have in place here, I'm manufacturing a hockey stick, and that hockey stick is made out of carbon fiber, Kevlar, and polyurethane. So as I go and apply additional materials to this job, it is going to look at the exact cost of that material in stock and apply that to the job. And so that's going to give me a really accurate total cost when I go and manufacture this order. And so where we'll then see that is on our sales screen and our profitability. So I have all these open sales orders. When I go and complete that sales order, it's going to pull in our total dollar amount, and it's going to look at our cost of goods sold and allow us to calculate our profit. So I'm going to have a really good understanding of how that new cost is affecting my dollar profit. And if I want to go and see how that new cost is affecting my overall business, Katana has built-in dashboards to allow you to see how these new tariffs might affect your profitability as a business overall. So right now, if I was to go into, for example, my sales screen, and I wanted to see my overall profitability over a running time period, currently I'm looking at the month and I can see my revenue, my cost of goods sold, I can see my profit and my profit margin. I've got a healthy profit margin of 95%. And then I can look at a specific filtered time period. In this case, I'm looking at the past 3 months. We'd also be able to see that in a moving graph where you can actually see over a period of time how that profitability is fluctuating. So that's where you're going to see your profit margin progress over a period of time as it changes throughout, changes to your cost of raw material or your cost of goods that you're buying and selling. You can also drill into more details. So if you wanted to see this for specific customers, so maybe you're distributing to customers in the US and you want to filter by shipping location. So maybe you're located in the US, you're selling into Canada, or vice versa. You want to see how this has affected your sales and when you're selling into certain geographies. Has that decreased? Is it increasing? Is my overall profitability in those regions increasing or decreasing? And so Katana is providing you real-time insights into that information based on what's happening. So you're getting this really accurate cost of product when you bring it in by adding in that landed cost. You're then applying that landed cost, leveling it out using the moving average cost methodology to your manufacturing orders. And then when you go and look at the overall performance of the business, you're able to see holistically from a trend perspective, how your business is performing and how these new increases in maybe cost of product or challenges in selling into new markets are affecting your overall business. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions about Katana, or if you want to chat a little bit about how tariffs might affect your individual business, please feel free to reach out or comment in the chat below. Thank you so much. Hope you have a wonderful day.